Here's the breakdown of how we split up the sections. I will start with the introduction, followed by Caitlin talking about the methods, then Rowan will describe our results, Brian will discuss the conclusion, and Rashad will finish out the presentation answering some questions. My name is Molly Williams, and as previously stated, I will be discussing the introduction. Let me start off the presentation by giving you all some background information. In the past, there has been a lot of research done in regards to the impact of social media on people's body image perception. Many studies show that social media can lead to a lower body image perception through constantly seeing images of models and other beautiful people. One particular experiment that looked into this was Vanderburg's study that concluded that TV exposure and BMI both impacted body dissatisfaction, and social media can help perpetuate these negative thoughts. Social comparison theory helps to explain why this phenomenon exists. According to the American Psychology Association, social comparison theory is a theory that people evaluate themselves in relation to others, either through an upward or downward comparison. Gerber and his colleagues completed a meta-analysis on this concept and determined that people tend to use an upward social comparison, comparing themselves to people they view as superior, even though this leads to a lower self-esteem. So, in terms of social media, people will tend to compare themselves to others they find more attractive or successful, resulting in a lower perceived body image. An issue that arises from this is social media gives people the ability to edit their photos and present an unrealistic version of themselves to the world. This leads to people comparing themselves to unreachable standards. Teigman and Anderson did an experiment to see how photoshopping and editing played a role in how people were affected by the images they viewed. In their Instagram versus reality experiment, they found that putting the original photo next to a Photoshop one mediated the effects because it made the participants realize the unrealistic aspects of the edited images. These previous experiments provide a background and inspiration for our study. The purpose of our study was to look at the effects of Instagram exposure to models and fitness influencers of differing body types, specifically average and fit, on body images in women. We define average bodies as women who care about their bodies, but also look like your typical everyday woman. We define fit bodies as women who have very little body fat and are clearly very conscious as to what food they consume and the amount that they exercise. Also, we studied how the exposure to models versus fitness influencers impacts people's perceptions of themselves. As highlighted in the background research, previous studies have already shown that social media can negatively impact people's body image. To expand on this idea, we have decided to dive deeper into what types of photos cause this decreased body image perception. Our study is designed to test the effect of viewing the Instagram pages of models versus fitness influencers on the body image perception of participants. It is also designed to determine if there is a difference in how the participants feel when viewing different types of fitness influencers and models. For example, there are fitness influencers that look like bodybuilders, but there are also fitness influencers who have a more average body. We chose to manipulate the photos viewed by the participants, so each participant would only view one of our 4 categories: fitness influencers with an average body, fitness influencers with a more bodybuilder-esque body, models with an average body, and models with a more supermodel-esque body. Then, we measured their perceived body image before and after viewing the photos through a questionnaire to see the difference. From our study design, we have developed 3 hypotheses for our experiment. The first one being that if women view either a model or fitness influencer page, those who view the models will have a larger decrease in their body image perception scores than those who viewed the fitness influencers. We also hypothesize that women who view images of women with more average bodies will have a higher body image perception than those who view the women with fit bodies. Our final hypothesis was that women who view fitness influencers with an average body will have the highest body image perception out of all of the categories.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Yang, and I will be going over the methods section. The participants in our study consisted of 23 undergraduate female students from the Georgia Institute of Technology, currently enrolled in the classes of Research Methods or General Psychology. Most participants reported that they spent over an hour a day on social media, and 87% of participants reported that they actively use 2 or more social media platforms. Additionally, we did not include participants who were not in our target age range or were not able to read English. In order to facilitate this online study, we used a Qualtrics survey that would allow us to give a demographic survey, a pre-experiment and post-experiment questionnaire to our participants. We used the Body Appreciation Scale as the pre and post experiment questionnaire, which included items like I feel good about my body and despite its imperfections, I still like my body. We also chose a total of 40 Instagram pictures, which were chosen based on the account type, fitness influencer or model, and also body type, fit or average. The study was a 2x2 between subjects factorial design. The first independent variable that we had was Instagram account, which had two levels, fitness influencer and model. Fitness influencer accounts typically promoted workouts and healthy lifestyle choices, and modeling accounts were of celebrity models or women who were modeling clothing. The second independent variable we had was body physique, which also had two levels, an average body and a fit body. We defined a fit body as having clear muscle definition and a slimmer figure with a body mass index on the lower end, and defined an average body as someone having a normal to higher body mass index. The dependent variable was the change in body image perception, and we measured this using the changes in scores of the Body Appreciation Scale before and after the experiment. First, participants filled out the demographic survey and the pretest Body Appreciation Scale questionnaire. Qualtrics was able to randomly assign each participant to one of the four groups, and each group was evenly distributed. Each participant viewed 10 images in the style of a real Instagram post, and there was an automatic timer that would change the images every 30 seconds. Once the participant finished viewing the images, they took the same Body Appreciation Scale questionnaire.
Hi, my name is Rowan Hayek, and I will be discussing the results of this experiment. So just as a reminder, we had three hypotheses for this experiment. The first one was that if women view either a model or fitness influencer page, those who view the model pages will have a larger decrease in their body image scores than those who viewed the fitness influencers. Our second hypothesis was that women who view images of women with more average bodies will have a higher body image perception score than those who view the women with fit bodies. Our final hypothesis was that women who view fitness influencers with an average body will have the highest body image perception score out of all of the other categories. Our results for this experiment showed that only one out of the three hypotheses was supported. For hypothesis 1, we found that there was not a significant main effect of account type on body image perception mean difference. That means that our hypothesis was not supported. So women who viewed the influencer account type did not have a significant change in body image perception score compared to the women who placed in the model account type categories. For hypothesis 2, our results showed that there was a significant main effect of body type on body image perception mean difference, so our hypothesis was supported. As predicted, the participants who viewed average body type images showed an increase in body image perception compared to those who viewed the very fit body type, which can be seen in the chart to the right. There was an average increase in body image perception score after viewing both the average bodied influencer pages and the average bodied model pages. However, for both the fit-bodied model and the fit-bodied influencer, our results showed an average decrease in body image perception score, meaning women had worse body image perception after viewing these pages. For hypothesis 3, we found that there was not a significant account type by body type interaction. That means our hypothesis was not supported. So there was no significant difference in changes in body image perception score between women who viewed images of average-bodied fitness influencers versus those who viewed images from the other three categories, which were average-bodied model, fit-bodied influencer, and fit-bodied model.
Hello, my name is Brian Herrera, and today I'm going to be going over the discussion section of our project. Firstly, I will summarize the results from our study. Hypothesis 1 results: women who viewed fitness influencers over model influencers did not experience a significant change in body image. In hypothesis 2 results, Women who viewed Instagram images of women with average body types had an increase in body image satisfactions than those who view image of fitness body types. In Hypothesis 3 results, women who viewed average body and fitness influencers over the other three categories did not experience a significant change in body image. Social media can leave a negative impact on people's views on their own body image. Our team sought out what factors on social media positively or negatively influence individuals' perceptions on their own body image. Women are more typically affected and influenced from the images from social media. From our results, we can see that an average-looking body tends to draw more positive body perceptions than from viewing a fit model or a fit influencer. Now, I'm going to discuss the strengths and limitations from our study. Our strengths. Our first strength, we had a large enough sample size from each of the 4 independent variables to perform our calculations. The second strength, we had a great diverse group of individuals who had a variety of students that came from different majors and races and ethnicity. This gave us a good understanding how much we can generalize our results to. Our limitations. Our project day came with limitations. The first limitation is a pre-test issue. Since the pre-test could have indicated what our study was about, individuals may have chose to answer differently in the post-test. Our second limitation, we cannot generalize the whole population since the study focused on females. We can also not generalize to all females since this sample size only included women from 18 to 25 years old. We cannot generalize to an older women population. Our last limitation was that this was all conducted online through a link. We cannot determine if individuals actually viewed images or if they just simply looked away. However, we can determine if individuals read the pre or post test. This was done by inserting a question that asked for a specific answer. Here are a few suggestions that future studies can implement into their studies. This experiment was done all online, so we had no moderator during the experiment. It is important to remind participants that they will be completely anonymous while taking the survey portion. This will result in more truthful answers during the pre and post test. So future studies should also include more women from different age range. We can only generalize our results to a younger women population. There are 2 factors that we missed in our experiments. The first is the participants' understanding of Photoshop and filtering. Are they aware when these tactics are being used, thus they ignore the images completely? They may be well aware of these tactics and therefore not be affected as much as by unrealistic body types that is usually portrayed in model type pictures. The second factor is captions. Instagram allows users to post images with captions. We did not measure if these captions may have an influence on how people view their body image. To conclude, our findings are important because it shows what accounts and content women should avoid in order to keep a high body image. Although we cannot generalize to all women, we can determine that images with an average-looking body has a more positive influence on women than if they were to look at a fit image. Social media can impact one's perception depending on the content that they are consuming. Our study helps to show that if people follow positive, encouraging accounts, it would not negatively impact their body image. It all depends on what the individual consumes on social media. It may be possible to start encouraging women to follow accounts that make them feel good about themselves.
Hi, my name is Rishabh, and I will be discussing some of the questions our project has received. So the first question was, if you could redesign your experiment in any way, what would you change and why? How do you think the results in this redesigned experiment would have differed from the results you found this semester? The first thing we would change would be the types of images shown. Right now, we are selecting 10 images of quote-unquote fit body types and quote-unquote average body types, and this definition might not globalize to the perspective of all women between the ages of 18 through 25. Also, we are using fit body images to imply a thin body image, decided from previous studies on this topic as an attempt to see if viewing skinny body type images would induce a negative shift in body perception. However, there are a lot of different factors that women can find appealing that could potentially shift their own body image perception, besides simply thinness. So we could change the fit images to be images on social media that we know are photoshopped, to not only include super skinny images, but include images of women with other appealing attributes besides thinness. Also, including known photoshopped and heavily altered images would be a better way to define an unattainable body type because they are digitally changed to portray the perfect body. This could have changed the results to actually show more negative shifts in body image when viewing photoshopped images and more negative shifts when it comes to other aspects as well besides thinness. The other change we would do follows the same idea of changing our second independent variable, which is right now body physique with two levels, fit and average. We could change it to include a variety of different attributes such as thin body images without Photoshop, thin body images with Photoshop, average body images, hourglass body shape images which are very popular on Instagram, and even bodies with plastic surgeries. So introducing these new attributes could take the focus away from simply seeing super skinny women and average sized women to seeing a variety of different body types that could be appealing to different women. This also relates to a generational shift while although it may have been idolized to be super skinny by television or magazines in the past, and that is the reason previous studies focus on this type of media, in today's social media heavy world, there has been a larger appreciation for different body types and a larger awareness of plastic surgery for your body. This leads us to believe that this change would increase the results of participants that demonstrated a negative shift in their own body image score. The second question was to provide at least two potential flaws in how you measured the dependent variable, which is body image perception, and how else could you have measured body image perception. One potential flaw in our dependent variable measurement is that it is only 13 questions. This means that each question has a larger weight of affecting the body image score and is subject to more bias and the ability to be skewed. Another flaw is the pretest and post-test being exactly the same and being measured right before viewing the images and right after. This could have heavily impacted the participants' response to the post-test and introduced an expectation of what is going to be measured. One way to handle these two flaws is to completely get rid of the pretest post-test and not give away the fact that we are measuring body image perception in order to get honest answers. One study titled Women's Exposure to Thin and Beautiful Media Images, Body Image Effects of Media Ideal Internalization and Impact Reduction Interventions actually did this by using magazine images of models with products and asking participants many questions about the products and what was in the image, along with questions of body images like those that appeared on our survey. This way, the participants did not truly know that they were being measured for their body image satisfaction, and there was no pretest that exposed them to the idea behind the experiment. Their experiment used Body Image State Scale, or BISS, which measures one's current dissatisfaction satisfaction with aspects of his/her physical appearance. And the results showed that participants exposed to the experimental group rather than the control had a significantly lower BISS score than the control group. Our experiment wanted to see if seeing these images directly affected body image on the spot of viewing them, which is why we used a pre-test and post-test. However, a measure like in the described experiment could also lead to significant results, because with a large sample it would be more statistically valid that the media is causing a lower BISS score than just the possibility that everyone in that group had a lower BISS score before starting the experiment. This is the third and final question. Your study set out to observe the effects of social media on body image perception. What are two additional IVs and their levels that might also have an effect on participant body image perception? One additional independent variable could be relationship status, with levels single or in a relationship. Although this could not be changed in an experimental fashion, it could largely affect participants' body image perception, as they might feel a reassurance or even increased satisfaction of their own body type from their partner. This might affect women that are single even more or may have no impact at all. Another independent variable could be the type of social media: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, or essentially the type of media, images, or videos. This could also affect body image perception, as explained in our research paper that many people are very aware of the filters and Photoshop that goes on in Instagram images. So to actually include videos where it's much harder to Photoshop could largely affect body image perception. Additionally, videos would require participants to pay more attention to the person in the video compared to staring at an image for an allocated amount of time.
Thanks for listening to our presentation.